quick recap on this weekend's UFC. I think it was called Fight Night 26. I'm going to talk about some of the fights, but first I want to talk about my guys. Um, Ramsey, well prepared. Strategy was working fine. He just got caught. When you say you just got caught, people call it, well, he just got him with a lucky punch or lucky submission, lucky guillotine. Yeah, he just got caught, but his opponent, James Vick, was drilling that, practicing that, and did it perfectly. So he just got caught because James Vick did it so well and timed it so well. And on the other side of that, Siler just caught Mike Brown with a beautifully timed uppercut. And it was practiced. It was perfect. It was well timed. I don't take anything away from Mike Brown. He's a warrior. Could have gone the other way. He could have caught him with an overhand right, and then Siler would have just got caught. But Siler was on, and James Vick was on. Ramsey could have easily won that fight, but he didn't. So I'm really proud of Siler. Great fight, cool and calm going into the fight, completely confident. He knew 1,000% that he was going to win. I'm completely proud of Ramsey. Warrior went out. What do you do when you get caught in something like that? There's no, there's no shame in it. It happens all the time. Every fight, one guy's gonna win, one guy's gonna lose. So I'm super proud of both my guys. They're warriors. They're tough. They will be back in the UFC. But to be honest, the difference I saw in this fight is you could just tell that Steve Siler knew he was going to win 1,000%. Nothing else mattered to him. And a lot of the guys, including Ramsey, I'm not making any excuses, have major weight issues. They got to cut tremendous amounts of weight. It's hard to come back 24 hours after you've just depleted your body and messed up your electrolytes so much. It's hard to all of a sudden be expected to perform at 100%, 24 hours later. It's and not just Ramsey. Probably half of the card, Saturday night was fighting after making an incredibly difficult and unhealthy weight cut. And it's come with the sport, and it's really unfortunate, but it just happens to be the way it is. I wish you could step on the scale, then step in the cage, and you make that weight. So that's your true weight. Siler would probably be fighting at 185, and Ramsey would probably be fighting at 185. I don't know. Siler would probably still be fighting at 45. I don't know. But back to that. Siler knew 1,000%. I could just see it. You could radiated his confidence. He was just happy and fun, and he just knew he was going to win. And a lot of the guys were just miserable because they were just cutting that weight. But anyway, great fights. Let me go over them real quick. This is my take on some of them. Manny against Cole Miller. Back and forth battle. Manny got elbowed. He said it was in the back of the head or something. But Cole did a great fight. It was really close. It was a back and forth battle. It was a decision. And there's no shame in either. I'm sure both will be back. Pineda against Diego Brandao. Great fight. A war. Back and forth. Again, it was a war. They were just banging, takedowns, submission attempts. It was unbelievable. It showed the courage and the heart of both. Siler, first round KO of Mike Brown. Conor McGregor. This guy is unbelievable. He's an Irish guy from Ireland, fighting in Boston, which was, it might not be Ireland, but it's as close to Ireland as you're going to get in the United States. And poor Max Holloway, some 21-year-old kid from Honolulu, Hawaii, who is an unbelievably good fighter, and he will be back. He's going to go back high. But fighting a guy like Conor McGregor, in this, I think he's had like 10 fights, max. And then fighting a guy like that, when Conor entered the ring, it was electric. I mean, it was like, not quite as much, but as close to when Chuck used to enter the cage. It was just the crowd went absolutely berserk, and I mean that's something that's hard on Max, to see that. And he was such an underdog just for the crowd. Michael McDonald against Brad Pickett, another war. I mean, Conor McGregor war with Max Holloway. Michael McDonald war with Brad Pickett. This Michael McDonald kid is freaking unbelievable. Never seen him fight before, and he's going places. Michael Johnson against Joe Lazon. First of all, Michael Johnson looks like the guy on. He looks like the guy on Police Academy that made all those weird voices. He'd like come out with those crazy voices. I actually thought it was him, and he was gonna bust out a voice, but he didn't think it was too funny when I asked him to. But anyway, Joe Lazon was just a step too slow, and Michael just kept catching him. He couldn't get in for the takedown, and Michael was just timing him and timing him combinations, and Joe was just a little bit too slow. But what a tough! I mean, Joe is just so tough. I mean, he's a freaking warrior. John Howard against Uriah Hall. It was a good fight. It wasn't a great fight. They both just showed tons of skill, and it was kind of a back and forth. A couple takedowns, but mainly just a stand up back and forth. Uriah Hall looks like he has some more fancy moves and more speed, but John Howard just kept plodding forward, landing a left hook, landing a takedown, and he did get the edge. So it was a good fight. Matt Brown against Mike Pyle just looked like a whole different weight class and a whole different power class. He just walks forward and knocks people out, and that's what he did here. You just know, whatever you're doing with Matt Brown, you just know as soon as he touches your chin, you're going to sleep. And that's tough to fight guys like that. I mean, that's how it was with Fedor, with Chuck Liddell, with Mike Tyson, with Glover Teixeira. You can work your strategies all day long, but all they have to do is touch you and you're going to go to sleep. And it looks like that's what it is with Matt Brown. That guy is immortal. But anyway, then we got Uriah Faber against I can't even say his name, but he looked like Rocky 3. It looked like this kid looked like Clubber Lang, and he was just going to beat the shit out of Uriah Faber. He came out, threw him around, looked like he was a little rag doll. He's just pounding Uriah, and everybody just thought, who is this guy? But then Uriah just kicked it up and turned up the volume, dug in deep, and ended up just fucking pounding out a win. I mean, he pounded the guy the second and third round. He showed not only skill, he showed a freaking tremendous heart. But this other kid will be back. He looked like a 185-pound, 135-pounder. So then there's Travis Brown against Alistair Overeem. Alistair Overeem just came out just beating the shit out of Travis, pounding him, catching him with punches, get him against the ropes, got him down, ground him, pounding. Looked like he was just about to stop. The referee almost stopped it, but Travis was defending, stood back up, then landed a front kick and knocked Alistair out. It was beautiful. And then the main event, Chael Sonnen versus Mauricio Shogun. It went exactly how I thought and predicted. Chael took him down and submitted him. Chael is like right there. He's like so close to being the world champion. And Mauricio is a warrior. Obviously, he's a freaking pride. He hits like a freaking mule, kicks so hard. He's a well-rounded fighter. But Chael is like, it looks like he's just one notch below John Jones and Anderson, but a notch above everyone else. He's like right here. So I think he could beat everyone else in the division. Well, two divisions, 205 and 185. But then those two champions, he can't beat them. That's what it looks like right now. But he is definitely, one of UFC's greatest fighters with just his personality, his charisma, his quick wit, and he backs it up with unbelievably good American gangster fighting strategies. Anyway, so that's my take on this UFC. I had two guys going, and I'm just as proud as of both of them. One guy came out ahead, one guy came out on the short end, but I'm very proud of both of them, Steve Seiler and Ramsey Nijam. It's a pleasure to be working with both of these guys. It's an honor, and it's actually an honor to know all these guys. These, if you guys have never been to a fight or know any of these fighters or hang out with them, these guys are the real deal. And when it comes to just all around athletes and just hey doggy, just all around, you know, Bushido. And I got to hang out with the guy from Office, Craig Robinson. We get to hang out. The guy from Office. And I asked him all about, you know, different things. Because when I see actors, I always think they're the guy from the show. I don't realize that they're just actors playing him. So, because I get so into shows, I wanted to know about him and his relationship with the girl from the warehouse, and then why he left, you know, the paper company to go to Philadelphia and be a sports agent. And he just kept looking at me like, you dipshit, it's just a show. But anyway, all right, talk to you guys later.